Peace, my beautiful souls. Lately, I have been thinking about the world and people, and thinking about specifically how, like, the powers that be, or whatever you want to call them, purposely do not, like, teach us about spiritual hygiene and, like, emotional intelligence and all these things. Because just imagine if we all were off rip being taught emotional intelligence and, you know, like spiritual hygiene, how to take care of ourselves spiritually, emotionally, not just our body. Even with that, they'd be putting up a whole bunch of BS with how to take care of our bodies and stuff. But imagine a world where everybody knows how to communicate properly, knows how to speak and react and respond to their emotions. They know how to move from heart space and be loving towards each other, versus a world where we're all sitting here plagued by fear of, like, being vulnerable and fear of being hurt and all these things, because how things have been going along throughout life. And then even as far as in school, like kids getting bullied, or at work, people feeling like they have to do some crazy ass things to make money and, like, be mean and play people and scam and all these different things. Like, imagine a world where everybody is just nice and sweet and, like, really moving to help from each other, really seeing each other as their reflections and such. And then at work, like, actually sitting there helping people get up, get higher, you know, and it just keeps going around full circle, you know. I'm excited for that world because, as y'all know, I trust that that world is coming. But it's, when I talk to certain people, like I had a conversation with, like, a friend recently, and something she said, like, it's just so wild to me. Like, people, like, it's not wild because I understand it, but sometimes I wonder if there are people that think like me, and I know there are people that think like me, that actually have, like, complete trust and faith in, like, I'm literally always getting a sty on this eye. Anyways, besides the point. What? Okay, there's people that think like me and trust that, you know, have faith in humanity and, like, the whole world peace really coming. I'm gonna trust people think like that. But most people, when I talk about these things, they're, like, mind blown, and, like, they don't think, like, they really don't think it's gonna happen. And that makes me a little bit sad, but at the same time it doesn't, because even a couple years ago I didn't think like this. Like, I had absolutely no faith for the world, for humanity, or anything like that. So I know in due time, like, more people will start to see it. And it's also purposeful that so many people don't think people like that exist, or that that's possible, because what's really pushed out in the media and stuff like that is the complete opposite of that. So it's hard to, like, I guess, like, tap into that timeline. But I would encourage you, if you don't think that's possible, to let yourself sit in, like, meditation, even for, like, 2 minutes, and envision, like, a world like that. Because the more that we think about it, the more that we envision it, the more that we create that reality. And then in times where you can check yourself and maybe embody those qualities a little bit more, and especially, like, let's say with someone that you don't like, or someone that has hurt you, or whatever the case may be, like, letting yourself sit there and embody a little bit more compassion and try to put yourself in their shoes and maybe see why they possibly did that. And not to say, like, you have to allow someone to continue to do things to you, but let yourself look at it from a different perspective, like, take yourself out of victim mode and stuff like that. I think empathy and compassion is something that a lot of people lack, and not because they don't feel it, but again, because of that fear of getting hurt, they feel like they just have to be the complete opposite and completely, like, I don't know, in defense mode. And I'm one of those people too that, like, I get, if someone, like, really hurts me, I kind of, like, shut down, and, like, that part of me, like, I go into fear mode. I get scared of getting hurt again, so I get a little more mean, I get a bit more mean than I would actually want to be. And I'm more so reacting out of fear and anger versus what I'm truly feeling. Like, I no longer feel like I can be vulnerable, so I'm not responding out of, like, my sadness and my hurt. Well, I am, but from a different level, from a level that's not really true to how exactly I'm actually feeling, when really I be wanting to sit there and freaking cry. But instead I'm sitting there like, what, an attitude or something, which I don't want to do that. And I'm excited for the day where I stop doing that completely and let myself just be vulnerable, even if I feel like I'm not safe with whoever or whatever anymore. At the end of the day, I know it's more detrimental to me to not express my true feelings and let myself cry and let myself whatever. And it's really me stepping out of my own power, because my power, like vulnerability, letting myself be vulnerable is one of the biggest ways I stand in my power, you know, regardless of how it's received on the other side. But yeah, I've just been thinking about that a lot, and again, how like it's dangerous to the powers that be. I really don't know what to call these people, but anyway, I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about or who I'm talking about. But yeah, it's dangerous for them to have a whole bunch of people thinking for themselves. And that's another thing also, just people being able to do what they want freely, as in, let's say, career wise, or if they simply don't want to actually have a career and just live and create and experience life. But everybody's so like money driven, because we need money to get all these things. Again, imagine a world where we don't deal with money anymore. We go back to like a barter and trade type of thing. There's no freaking borders, and you can freely travel this land that was created for us in your true divinity, your true sovereignty. Like, whoo, I'm excited, because it will come. It will come in due time. But the world would be so much better. It's going to be so much better. Like, people really living for themselves and not slaving somewhere to make this money to pay these things, you know, and not actually getting to experience. Like, it makes me sad. But I know that everything like plays out in divine timing, and everything that's happening right now, there's like, it's purposeful, you know. So I try my best not to get like too angry or too sad about it. But I think it makes me more sad to think that people really think that this is going to be like a forever thing, or it's just only going to get worse from here. And yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say, but I definitely am excited, and excited mainly for people to just be like so free in their true feelings. It's so easy to see when someone's like blocking like how they're actually feeling and being in that tough state. And not just it's crazy. I don't even want to use that word, because again, to be vulnerable, to be sad, to show your love, to move from love, that takes so much strength. And I'm talking to myself again as much as I'm talking to whoever else, because yeah, it's so easier for us to do that. And in this book, The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, he talks about like the human race being under this disease of fear. Like, that's literally our illness that plagues all of us and keeps us from really connecting with one another, keeps us from really truly being free and being ourselves. It's fear of abandonment, fear of being judged, fear of being seen, fear of being wrong, fear of failing, all these different types of fears. And those have been instilled upon us since young renhood. Like, when we were first born, we really didn't embody fear. If you look at babies or young wrens, they don't embody so much fear until someone starts telling them, don't do this, or this is gonna happen, or someone starts to hit them, or someone starts to yell at them for doing something wrong. All these things, or like you do something wrong and then your parent withdraws love from you, or they punish you in whatever way. So many things that have like, and then there's also what is it he talks about, like the reward system. We've domesticated ourselves as humans, just like with dogs and cats. They do something good, you give them a treat. They do something bad, you put them in a cage. It's the same thing with humans, and that comes from, again, our parents, our caretakers, the teachers. If you get a bad grade, you're failing. Like, it's so much stuff like that doesn't allow people or make people think like they cannot really be themselves, or that they're less than if they don't meet a certain standard or a certain quote. And people are compacted, which is why that whole children is a word spell. Compacted, chill them out of fear, scare them. Do you get what I'm saying? I know you get what I'm saying. I need to make a playlist of the word spells. Anyways, but yeah, it's so much stuff, and I'm just excited for us to be fully in our divine sovereignty and our Ren in totality, which is, you know, benevolence, goodness, compassion, love. Like, really embody all of those things, and for ourselves, for each other, because the more we do it for ourselves, the more that like reflects outward. And yeah, I'm just super excited. for what's to come. And I'm trying also my best to like be completely present in the now and like be happy and excited in the transition from now to then too. But I just think about that a lot, and the last couple days it's been heavy on my mind, like like the way that things are right now, and not completely, because everybody's not like that still, and everybody, like a lot of people are rising up to the truth, and you know, learning how to transmute those energies and learning how to move out of a space of love versus out of a space of fear. And it's not an easy journey, especially since we're used to doing things one, like a certain way for so long, and majority of people, I would say, like are still on that side of things, if that makes sense. And so it gets really difficult, and like feeling your feelings is scary. And I don't know why it's so scary. Well, of course, again, from the programming and conditioning, I feel like I want to cry right now. But because it's such a beautiful thing, even to like allow yourself to feel pain, to feel your fear, and to like push past it, and like take the risk of you showing your true self, of you being vulnerable, of you loving and stuff like that. Because the more like we block out trying to be hurt, the more we block out the other things too, like you truly feeling a sense of love and security in so many ways. And I'm just excited for me, for you, for us, seriously. And even for like the things, like the nature itself, for us to have like such an appreciation and gratitude for it, and loving like relationship with those things, because they be needing love too, like the waters, the trees, the plants, the animals. Like I'm very just excited for all of it to come like together. And even our ancestors, I made a video a while back of like channeling them. They be like sad too, because people have like demonized them so much. People don't have a relationship with their ancestors. Even if you don't know exactly who they are, just simply like talking to them, like they appreciate that, or they are grateful for that. They want you to communicate with them. They are also helping you on the other side too, and they still embody a lot of like human feelings, especially if they didn't like ascend all the way. Like, and there's the way that time works in the spirit realm is so different anyways. But anyways, like I'm excited to see people like embodying those things, like embodying what it is to be a human in totality, not just like one side of it, or just the lower vibrational aspects of the human experience, you know. And really embracing the fact that we are not solely human. Like we're way more than just this physical human vessel that we incarnated in this life, specifically to experience these human things, you know. And a big part of that is connecting with other things besides just human, and but also truly connecting with each other as humans, and realizing like we need each other. Like a lot of people like to sit there, not to say that solitude and independence is not a good thing, but we do need each other. Like we need each other. Like it's that simple. And yeah, I'm excited for us to come together as one. It makes me like so sad, happy to think about that. And it's in so many songs and so many movies about how much we really do need each other to like break this ginormous ass spell that is on the world. And yeah, I'm just excited for it. Phew. Anyways, I think I'm done. So I'm gonna go now, but I love you. See you later. Okay, I'm back. Because I realized I said they don't want us to do this, right? Because just imagine if we embodied our divinity and all that stuff too. How they would freaking crumble. Which they are already crumbling, as you can see. And a lot of things are being exposed. A lot of things, right? Because you cannot... They manipulate and control a lot with like programming and conditioning, with the TVs, with the movies, with the shows, with the food, with a lot of different things, right? But you cannot do that to someone who, or a freaking whole group of people. No, you can not someone either, right? Because they could start one person and then it trickles on, right? You cannot continue to manipulate and control people who are self-aware, who are connected to their spirit, who are connected to the Most High in a way that's like undeniable. Like, you don't need these people, like these people, us, we, when you get to a point where you can connect with source without needing someone else to tell you how to do that, or without needing someone else to tell you what's right or wrong and you are right or wrong for doing this or that. I'm talking about stuff like the Bible and certain religions and stuff like that. Not downing all religions, but overall they are created to control and separate, right? And that again comes from certain individuals, right? But if you're dealing with a whole bunch of people who know God is within them, know that they are a reflection of God, of the Most High on their own, and start to know how to work with their own divine gifts and know that their gifts are not evil, and the fact that they connect with their people is not evil, and all this stuff, like, you can no longer manipulate and control people when you are dealing with a bunch of people who know how to express themselves truly and don't need to go to like outside sources. They're going to crumble. So they don't want people to know that, which is why when I also talk about stuff like that, they be hiding my videos. But hey, we're not gonna talk about that, it's fine, because the truth will come out eventually, and I'm not the only one that knows this. There's so many people that know this, which is why they want to keep so many things quiet and want to control so much and do all this thing, which also causes a lot of fear mongering for people to like, they feel stuck by all these rules and regulations and laws and stuff. And again, if we're all in our divine freaking sovereignty and know the power within us and are tapped into oneness and treating each other equally and moving from heart space, all these laws and things that are in place, there's no need, like there's no need for that. And so many people say like, if we didn't have laws and we didn't have a president and all these people and blah blah blah, the world would go crazy and everybody would do a bunch of shit. Yes, if they're still moving from a lower vibrational spaces, but if they have emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, if they're connected to their divinity, which we all are, there's blocks for a lot of different reasons. Anyway, those blocks away, we're all really tapped into it, into oneness, into unity, consciousness, and just freaking treating people like, again, how you would, or not again, because I didn't say that, but how you would want to be treated. There's no need for them, for the government, for the things that they have put in place. Like, even, oh my gosh, like people, even like homeless people and stuff, there's like barely any public property where people can stay. Or in the States a lot, how you can't go to beaches or lakes or whatever after a certain time. This is our world, our land. Like, how, listen, there's so many things that just would not be a thing and will not be a thing the more that people tap into who they really are, who we really are, and connect with each other and get ourselves like out of victim mode and stuff like that and really stand in our freaking power. Like, yeah, they don't want that shit, but it's coming. It's coming. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited. Okay, I'm done. I love you. Bye.